Welcome to Home Buying 101. With me this week is Yozana from AZ and Associates. Yozana, thank you for being on the show today.
Thank you for inviting me.
How is your day going today?
It's really busy. It's Monday, so
there you go.
There's lots of things going on out there.
So Yozana, tell our viewers who you are, how you got into the industry, what you love about real estate.
My name is Yozana Alcala. I am a licensed realtor here in Arizona, and I have been licensed for 2 years now. So my favorite thing about being a realtor is being able to help. That is my passion. And it's funny because I never knew I was going to become a realtor until actually getting into it. And at first I was going to go into the medical field, and it didn't work out. But now, being in the real estate industry, I still get to help people, so it ends up working out.
What did you do before real estate?
So I was in sales, retail. I worked in retail for over 4 years. And my most recent job before becoming a realtor, I was a training store manager at T-Mobile. And my job was to teach people how to become really good at selling phones, but overall just coaching them on customer service as well. I became a leader in the store, and I had the opportunity to train and coach a lot of individuals, and I still keep in contact with some of them today. So overall, it wasn't just, teaching them how to sell. It was teaching them about how to grow and develop into being a better, sales rep.
And of course, that helped you in what you're doing today, because you kind of already had those sales skills. So you kind of just transferred that sales skills and the teaching to selling real estate.
Yes. Although I think it's a little bit different because a home can sell itself. That's not what my job focuses on. My job is more so guiding them through the purchase, and I enjoy that a lot as well. So I have had clients that are purchasing homes for the very first time, and they have a lot of questions, and I just love to be able to answer questions and make them choose the correct decision, or help them discover what the right choice is for them.
Of course. So every week we start off with just talking about how the market looks like. So what does the market look like this week?
So right now we are sitting on 12,000 active listings, 580 coming soon, 10,335 that are pending, which means that someone is already under contract to purchase them. The median list price right now is $510. But the median sold price is $437, and we are seeing an average of 75 days on the market as of right now.
Okay. Well, thank you for that information. So, of course, I wanted to have you on today just to talk about something that we've talked about on other episodes, but we haven't done a deep dive, and I wanted to kind of do a deep dive about new builds.
Okay. So new builds are all over the valley right now, with Arizona growing and expanding. Every corner you look, there's construction happening, and that's good for Arizona, right? Because the amount of growth that we're seeing is going to overall just help the community with just becoming better. I've noticed a lot of buildings being taken over and just being designed to being improved overall. So with new builds, they are everywhere. Just last week, I was over in a new build community in Avondale, which, it's funny, I used to go to school near that area when I was in middle school. And when I went to middle school, it was nothing but agricultural fields. And where I was standing at the new build sales office, there's new built homes. So it was kind of, nostalgic to be there again, but seeing that Arizona continues to grow, and there's just so much construction. It's crazy that every corner that you see, or every corner that you look, there's new construction going on.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to ask you this. If I wanted to start looking into a new build, should I go look at a new build by myself to save you some time, or what do I do there?
So never, ever, 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 ever go to a new build sales office on your own. And you will notice, if you were to go by yourself, you will notice at the front door, it says, your realtor must accompany you on your first visit. And the reason for that is because the person that they have working in the sales office, they work for the builder, which is also the seller, and they will represent you if you go on your own. And to have a realtor represent you as a buyer, it does not cost you anything. So there's no reason why you should go by yourself. And if you do, just know that the builder is now representing you, and it could get, conflicting at times. You don't know who you're dealing with, you don't trust them, or you don't know who they are, or you won't be able to trust them. I have heard of horror stories that happen when you go to a new build sales office by yourself, such as them asking for more money just because. And when you have a realtor, that's not going to slide. Whatever money we're talking about, it's going to be in writing. And overall, just having that extra representation, someone working in your best interest. And it's a huge decision. Buying a home, I would personally take that very seriously. That's why I love what I do, is that everything that I am doing for my clients is definitely for their best interest.
At the end of the day, the salesperson at the new build is always going to look out for the best interest of the new build community. So, of course, always have a realtor there because they're looking out for the best interest of you, not the builder.
Yeah. And even if it's just to go window shopping as well, because when you get there, they're going to register you. And if your realtor is not with you, that's it. And it's kind of hard to come back with a realtor because they have that sticker at every single door. It says your realtor must accompany you on the first visit. So don't ever go by yourself. I'm always a phone call away, and I can always make time to go with my buyers.
Of course. So let me ask you, before you go into a new build, do you recommend your clients to get pre-qualified by your preferred lender partners, or should they just wait to get qualified with the lender that they have at the builders?
So I strongly recommend a pre-approval before visiting any kind of home, whether it's resale or new build. But the reason is because we need to have that official pre-qualification from a lender, and you could either be cutting yourself short or shooting way too high, and it's just a disservice for you. So when you do contact me, the first thing I will talk about is pre-qualification to make sure that we have accurate information. And I also like to provide a very good experience, and it's just going to make it that much easier.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So let me ask you this. What are the advantages of purchasing a new build compared to a pre-existing home?
Some of the advantages is that you have warranty included in the home. You will have a 1-year warranty for any cosmetic type of things that come up during that first year of you living in the home. There's also 10-year builder warranty for any kind of foundational or structural kind of defects. And overall, you're the first person stepping into that home, so there shouldn't be any issues. Of course, they're not going to be perfect. Nothing's perfect, but overall, knowing or having that peace of mind that what you're getting is brand new and that you have that warranty in case something does come out to be, problematic. But also another advantage right now with new builds is that they are offering incentives. With the resale market, with the home that's already been lived in, you are dealing directly with the seller, and if the home has roof issues, or maybe let's say the AC is old, sellers don't want to replace that for you, versus with a new build, brand new roof, brand new AC. So those are some advantages.
And you said there's a 1-year and a 10-year warranty. So the AC unit, the washer, the dryer, well, some of them don't come with washer dryers, but let's just say most of them come with AC units. So we can just talk about that. What's the warranty on the AC unit?
It will depend on what kind of AC unit, but for the most part, you do have to register your appliances, and each appliance will have different amount of warranty.
But the builder doesn't provide more than a 1-year warranty on that AC unit, I'm assuming.
It should be 5 years, depending on the builder.
Okay.
Or it could be a little bit more, but it just depends on the builder.
And you kind of already touched on this. So what are some incentives and special offers available right now that you've been seeing across the valley for some of these new builds?
So I am seeing incentives at every single new build community, but some have more to offer than others. The main incentive, or the most common incentive that I'm seeing right now, is closing costs paid for. And that incentive can also be used to buy down your interest rate. So it's 2 incentives. It's either you get a lower interest rate, or you can have all of your closing costs paid for, or you can also do both. Buy down your rate a little bit and use some of the money for closing costs. And so that's what's really selling new builds faster, is that they have those incentives right away. And it's just going to be a matter of your realtor doing some research beforehand to let you know what incentives are at that specific builder, because each builder is different. There's a builder that literally only gives you 10K. It's a flat fee. There's another builder that says, hey, I'll give you up to 6%. That could come out to 25,000. It just depends on the builder and how much they're selling at that community.
Okay. And then right now, what are you seeing as earnest deposits for some of these builders?
It all varies. There's $1,000 deposit. There's 5,000. There's 10,000. It's going to depend on the builder.
Of course, but there is a wide range of anywhere from $500 to $20,000 in earnest deposits. Okay?
Yes.
So, what are the typical upgrade options for some of these new builds, and how does that affect the overall cost? Kind of what comes standard, and then also, what do you recommend sometimes to certain clients to when you're looking at a home? For them to add and not add, that one day it will help their resale value if they ever choose to do sell the home.
So with new builds, there's two options. You can build from dirt lot, or you can purchase a spec home. So let's start with the dirt lot. That one is 100% customizable with the flooring, the countertops, and cabinets. That's, for the most part, that's what you choose in those homes that you build from dirt lot is flooring, cabinets, and cabinets.
And then you can also add sometimes either convert rooms from studies to full-blown bedrooms,
Yes,
correct?
you can choose structural design options as well. Like you said, either adding a full bath, a half bath, office, or a room. You can definitely choose structural options and then the design options. And as far as what upgrades I recommend, I would definitely say go for like the larger size cabinets. If you can upgrade the countertops, that will help as well. The flooring, honestly, those three things, the flooring, the countertops, and the cabinets, that's what helps the resale market.
What about converting from half bath to full bath, or from study to full-blown bedroom?
Yeah, so bathrooms for sure. A home will always have more resale value if you have more bathrooms. And as far as bedroom, I would also say is, pretty, it's a good option to upgrade an office to an actual bedroom, because people do look at that stuff when we're shopping in the resale market. They will point out, hey, what is this? Because it doesn't have a closet. I'm like, that's a den or that's an office. So turning them into bedrooms definitely helps, but it's up to the buyer's preference.
Of course. So let me ask you, how involved can I be when it comes to customizing and designing the actual new build when it's from the ground up? Like you said, it's brand
From
new.
dirt lot.
Yeah.
So you can definitely do a lot of designing. They let you customize the flooring, whichever kind of tile you want. They let you do the cabinets, the size, the color, as well as the countertops. You can choose the standard. You can choose very, very upgraded, as well as structural designs as well. Turning an office into a actual bedroom, or going from a half bath to a bath. Also, they let you choose other things as well, such as like fixtures, like if you want to walk into the home with really fancy fixtures, or even the kind of paint that you want in the home.
So you can go glossy, you can go matte, you can go pretty much whatever kind of finish you want on the walls, correct?
There's a lot of options. Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
And then what about a spec home? What does that look like?
So a spec home is when the builder has already pre-selected options such as what I just said. The flooring, the cabinets, and the countertops are the three major things that they already have pre-selected. And so with a spec home, you don't have an option to choose what you want in the home, but you can choose what kind of package you want. So certain homes have a certain color style and other homes have different. But as far as a spec home, you already are walking into whatever the builder has chosen as far as designs go.
Okay. So what's the difference between from the dirt lot to being built to a spec home? What's the timeline on both of those?
So with a dirt lot, right now it's taking anywhere from 10 to 12 months, and that's typical with any builder if you're starting from dirt lot. Now with a spec home, there's a lot of different options. It can be quick move-ins, which means that they are like 90% complete and they'll be ready within the month. And then there's other spec homes that they are at frame. The wood is up, and those typically take Right now, they're estimating 4 to 6 months, just depending on how far the construction is on that specific home. But with a spec home, you can expect 6 months or less.
Okay. And when it comes to just dirt lot or spec homes, they both come with the same warranties and the same guarantees that either way, correct?
Yes, they will both have warranties. Just depending on the builder, they'll have different types of specifications, but they will come with warranty.
Okay. And something that's been really popular, at least for me, that I've been seeing a lot on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook is the concept of next gen home. So can you explain to me what a next gen home is?
So it's funny, I uploaded a video of next gen home on both my Instagram and TikTok, and I got all kinds of comments, and it was a lot of people pointing out that it's not new. And I'm like, I didn't say it was new. I'm just saying this is what we're calling it now. So there is a specific builder that I see is really popular right now that is building next gen homes, and they have marketed that name. But it's basically a casita that is attached within the home. And it's good, I feel like the reason that they named it next gen is because the generation is changing now to where 18-year-olds are not moving out anymore. Or, it could just be that the parents are now living with you. I see that very often, whether, it might be that
Grandpa or grandma are moving from another state to here, or they're just elderly.
Or also they're babysitting the son's children, which is their grandchildren, because, nowadays both wife and husband have to work. So, grandparents living with you, they can also use, I've heard this a lot from buyers is like, hey, my mom's coming to live with me, or my dad currently lives with me. I live with my mom. I live with my dad, and they already are, 30 plus years old, and they still have their parents living with them. So I feel like next generation is kind of, 2020 era is definitely changing as far as how households are living their life now. But overall, like I said, it's an attached casita. It usually has its own kitchenette and a full bedroom with possibly a washer and dryer already included inside the home, stackable washer and dryer. And yeah, it's becoming popular. But some of the comments that I got from me posting that video is people pointing out that in some states like California, it's called ADU. And another word for it is a duplex, which I don't really think it's a duplex. But yeah, a lot of people just pointing out this is not new. And I'm like, it's not new. It's just a new name that is out there right now.
And I've seen that some of even have their own garages, though.
Yes.
Okay.
Some do. Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you this: I don't even know if anyone really knows the answer to this one. So let's say, for example, I buy a next gen home. Mm-hmm. Is there anything in the HOA saying that I can't rent that out to somebody?
No. Okay. And this goes with any home, right? You purchase a home and you will be the owner that can use it as a rental. But no, I have not heard of it not being able to be for that purpose. But I think it's awesome for that, because I recently had someone reach out to me saying that, hey, I don't live in Arizona, but I would like to purchase this property as an Airbnb, and I want the next gen suite, the casita, to be for me when I go and visit, and have the whole entire house be rented, and he uses the casita.
Do some of these next gen homes have access to that backyard, or?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask too.
So there's different floor plans, but definitely from what I've seen, they all have backyard access, which is really cool, because most homes, new build homes, have side gates, and that other person can just come in through the backyard rather than your front entrance. And like you said, some of the next gen homes have a garage, and the most recent home that I went to that I posted, it has garage access to get inside the next gen. So it's definitely really cool that whoever is going to utilize that casita does not have to enter your home. There are floor plans where the layout is a little bit different and they do have to enter through the main door. But for the most part, I've seen all of them have side access to
which is awesome, because like you said, you can have your parents-in-law, your parents, or just rent it out to someone, or like your client's going to do. He's going to use the next gen home as his and then just rent the whole rest of the house as his Airbnb and have income to pretty much supplement his mortgage and pretty much probably pay for it.
Or, a lot of people always, when we're shopping, they say, hey, I want a guest room. This is perfect for that reason that, yes, you can have guests over, but you'll still have a little bit more privacy as opposed to if they were actually in your home right next to your bedroom.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So can you give me some examples of some of your previous clients that you've had in relation to new builds and kind of how the experience has been so far? And I know that a lot of these builders provide a lot of, like we've talked about, incentives and a lot of good loan programs. So can you kind of give us some examples of some of your previous clients and some of your success stories?
Yes. So I think my best success story with a new build is I was able to get my buyers into a home with only $1,000 out of pocket. And how we were able to do that. So, like I said, some new builds right now, they are offering to pay all of your closing costs. My buyers, they needed down payment assistance. And it wasn't the easiest thing ever, but we made it happen. And what I did was, first I showed them resale homes. And they did like the homes, but they were like, hey, I want a new build. Is it possible to get down payment assistance on it? I said, hey, you know what? Not for all builders, but let me see what I could do. So I took them to a community that I had already called beforehand. And I said, hey, they're interested in a new build. Would your lender provide down payment assistance? And they told me that they would be able to do it. It's a matter of getting their loan done with their preferred lender. And so we went ahead and filled out the application with the preferred lender of the new build, and they were approved for down payment assistance. So then at that point, my job was to negotiate with the builder to still give us closing costs, although they're using down payment assistance. Because in some cases, down payment assistance is not the one that they would prefer to use.
Or the best option.
Because the builder wants to make good profit, and sometimes down payment assistance doesn't give them what a regular loan does. So they took the application with the lender. I talked to the sales representative. I said, hey, we're using down payment assistance. Is your builder still able to give us closing costs? And she said, let me talk to my manager. And it's a matter of having a realtor that can actually push for what you want. And yeah, they accepted. And so we went under contract. And that home was a spec home, and it was going to be ready in 30 days. So my client put their earnest deposit of $500, and because it was down payment assistance, they just got their deposit back the day that we closed. The only thing that they had to pay for was an inspection that runs about $500 and an appraisal about $500. So they were super happy that they were walking into a new build home with only $1,000 out of pocket, and yeah, overall, just they went into this home with little to no money. I will say that it wasn't super easy because when I first took them to a new build, the sales rep there told us that she would give us $15,000 for closing costs, and they made us take the application through their lender. And the lender could not do the down payment assistance, although she told us that they were going to be able to. And during that loan waiting process, I told her, hey, are we still going to be able to get their closing costs covered? She said, yeah, don't sweat it. We have $15,000. And then I was like, can I get that in writing? And she went to her boss, and the boss said, no, for down payment assistance, the most we will give is like $2,000, $3,000, something like that. And like the very next day, that lender couldn't do the down payment assistance for us. So when that happened, my buyers got a little bit discouraged. And I said, don't worry, like I'm going to make it happen. We just have to try another route. So the fact that we had gone to another builder, now this is the second time, and I pushed for it. And like I said, it's not the easiest thing ever, but there's definitely a way. And my buyers are super happy. Yeah.
That's awesome. And then what about your client today that I saw on your story before you got here? Mm-hmm. What happened today with that new build?
So my client is a VA buyer, and this is the first time he's using his VA benefits. And for any of you that don't know, when you are a veteran or active duty, you can use a VA loan and you have no down payment required with purchasing a home, and you can actually use it multiple times. So this person actually reached out to me from seeing my social media, and he said, hey, I'm in San Diego. I have a job transfer in Arizona and I am looking for a realtor. So after that, I got on the phone with him, explained, hey, let's get you pre-approved and then we can go see homes. And he right away started asking me about new builds. I'm like, yeah, we can go see new builds. And he's also looking for those incentives because I've been posting about them. And he's like, what can you do to get my closing costs covered? I'm like, it depends on the builder, but we're going to get it done. So he came down one weekend to meet me and we started seeing some homes. We started seeing new build homes, and he didn't know what Arizona looked like. So we were kind of looking at different cities, and he finally decided on like Peoria area. Okay. And there's a builder out there that we looked at when he came out here, and he really liked it. And it's actually a spec builder that already has all of the interior options chosen, and they actually have quartz countertops, tile flooring, and the nice cabinets, like 42-inch cabinets. So just a few days ago, I was FaceTiming him a new floor plan, and I think it checked off all the boxes. And he's like, yeah, I really love it. So I was like, okay, next step is putting your deposit. And before doing all of this, before me even going to go preview this home for him, I had already called the builder and asked, hey, what incentives do you have? What homes do you have? And when can they close by? So the sales representative told me, hey, I have a quick move-in. And I was like, I asked the sales representative, what incentives do you have on it? And I am already familiar with what incentives builders have, but I still like to ask to see if there's anything else that I can get for my buyer. And actually, we were able to get an incentive that he wasn't going to get. And that is a 4.99 interest rate. That's a fixed rate for the whole 30 years on the loan.
That's awesome.
And on top of that, $10,000 for his closing costs. And the reason why he wasn't going to get the 4.99 interest rate is because that home was supposed to close in June, and that incentive is only for people who close in June. But because of his job transfer, we're closing in July, and I was able to get that extended for July. And that's something that, you know, I was able to do. But if you go on your own, the builder's just going to say, nope, if you're not closing in June, that's that.
Of course. So that's why it's important to have a realtor to go with you, to be able to fight for you and also get you those things that you might not be able to get by yourself. Yeah. So let me ask you, if someone's interested in getting a new build, a resale, selling their home, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
Always. So I am on social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and my phone number is everywhere. But if you prefer calling or texting me, I definitely pride myself in always being available for my clients. And that is something that separates me from other realtors. I myself have tried calling other realtors that are the listing agent representing sellers. I'm trying to get a hold of them to see, hey, how many offers do you have? They're not answering. I had to call a realtor like 5 times one time, texted him, no answer. So it's really important that you have a realtor that is available. And I always introduce myself that way to my clients, is I am here for you. And any questions that you have at any point in time, reach out to me. And I love what I do. So never, ever, ever is a client bothering me. And I love to help people. So
what's the number to call if we want to get a hold of you?
My phone number is 480-652-8949.
Okay. And then what's your social media names, so if they want to look you up on social media?
So on Instagram, it is Yozana Your Realtor, and same thing on TikTok. And on Facebook, it is Yozana Alcala. So some of my family knows me as by my middle name. So if you look up Yozana Alcala, it will also come up as well.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. Well, thank you for being on the show today. And of course, if you guys have any other questions for her, also reach out to us on our social medias. And of course, if you have any insurance questions or any insurance needs, of course, reach out to us. Thank you for being on the show today.
Thank you for having me. And like Francisco said, if you want to reach out to me, it is very easy. Look me up, and I am more than happy to help you. And even if it's not for you, if it's for your family or friends, anyone at all, I'm happy to help.
Y hablas español, ¿correcto?
Sí, hablo español, I am bilingual. Si ustedes necesitan un agente de bienes y raíces, con mucho gusto pueden contactarme. Mi número es 480-652-8949. Con cualquier pregunta o duda, sea usted, un familiar, un amigo, yo con mucho gusto les puedo ayudar.
Muchas gracias.
Gracias a usted.